Not every day looks the same on the homestead. Some days are busy, some are slow, but here's what happened one spring day. This is a day in our life on our New Zealand homestead. In our household, everyone takes part in the running of the homestead. One of my 3-year-old's responsibilities is feeding and letting out the chickens in the morning. We have chicks hatching at the end of the week, so it's time to get the brooder ready. This brooder, the older kids made using some broken down pallets. So we've just got a tarp on the floor and some sawdust down on top of it as well. And for heat, we've got a heating plate. Now we really like these because they are super safe. There's no risk of fire issues with them. And you can change the temperature on them as well, which is great for transitioning the chicks to outside. And they're also adjustable, so we can change the height as the chicks grow. This heating pad is for around 50 chicks, but we do have another one in case we need it. We are planning on hatching another batch after this one. We've also got these little drinkers here, which are really great for when they're quite small. Just means they're not dirtying their water easily. They just peek at the bottom and the water drips out. And we also put paper towels down on top of the heating pad because as they grow, they tend to jump up on it, and it just makes keeping this area clean a lot easier. And I've also put paper towels down under their feed bowls to help keep the sawdust out. But as they get older, I'll use a block of wood or a brick or something to raise the feeders up. This will be our second year hatching and raising chickens for meat. Last year we raised just under 30, and this year we're hoping to raise around 100. This is just one of the ways our family is becoming a little more self-sufficient. Okay, so we've got a couple more seeds to plant today. I'm hoping to get some capsicum and chilies planted, as well as some pumpkin, beetroot and cucumber. I've still got a couple of things growing in this container on one half, but I'm just going to fill this soil back in on the empty half and plant some things in there. When it comes to planting seeds in spring, I like to stagger it and plant just a few different crops every few weeks. This really helps me to not get too overwhelmed and means everything isn't ready for transplanting at the same time. For chilies this year, I've just got a spice blend. I can't even remember what it has in it. I know it has some jalapenos and some other spicier peppers as well. The flowers look like snow. It's pretty exciting. And I'll just put a lid on it to keep it nice and moist and warm. I'm just going to start a couple of cucumber seeds off in this planter as well. Oops, they're already falling out, Elena. 4, 5. And lastly, we've got some butternut pumpkins to plant. We are a big household, and so whatever we plant, it's always a matter of trying to grow enough food to feed everyone. It's always a jigsaw puzzle trying to find enough space to grow everything in. Here, I think I ended up planting 8 or so butternut squash seeds, but I may very well plant some more in the coming weeks. Focusing on growing staple crops like potatoes and pumpkins is really going to help make a dent in our supermarket bill. I have a bunch of normal pumpkins sprouting up all over the place from where I'd put some pumpkin seeds in the compost, but I still want butternut pumpkins as well, so that's why I've planted those. These guys I'm going to be trellising up a fence over in the chicken coop, so that'll be pretty cool to see how that goes. A lot of things have been planted out into the garden now, but there are still a few seedlings growing in containers. These tomato seedlings are hardened off and ready to be planted in the ground. So this is where we're going to be planting the tomatoes. We'll plant them along this whole fence line here, and we're going to put another fence up on this side to trellis them in. We're also going to plant some marigolds along the front as well. Usually with these bigger tasks we all help out. One of the perks of having so many people living together is that there's more hands to make lighter work. But everyone else was busy, and so I just decided to make a start on planting these seedlings while I had the chance. First, I put a handful of compost where I was going to put each plant, just to give them an extra boost of nutrients. Yeah? You want some gumboots on so you can see the chickens? Soon enough, some of the others were ready to come help mulch around the plants. Mulching helps to suppress weeds and keep the soil moist.
Yeah, I'm not doing any
Today we are mulching with some wood shavings we had left over from chainsawing wood. These are going to break down a lot slower than, say, grass clippings. We just make sure to give each seedling plenty of room so that they don't end up being smothered by the wood shavings. Yeah, that's okay. Can you put your handful here, Levi? That would be great, thank you. Awesome. Sorry. And also, they look really pretty. So I've got some little marigold seedlings here, and I'm just going to plant them all along in front of the tomato seedlings now. Marigolds are the perfect companion to tomatoes. Marigolds have a strong scent that deters a lot of unwanted insects like aphids and thrips, while attracting beneficial insects like ladybugs that eat aphids, as well as also attracting pollinators. By planting marigolds next to tomatoes, the tomato plants are more likely to be healthier overall and hopefully yield a good harvest for us. While I finished off planting the marigolds, Mum got stuck into making another few rows ready for planting our late crop variety of potatoes. Once I was finished planting, it was time to get the other side of the trellis up. For this trellis, we just used what we already had laying around. Some deer fencing, a couple of shorter waratahs, and lengths of rebar. Some of you that have been following along our journey for a while now will know that about a year ago we got bees. They did really well for the first few months, and even going through winter they were looking quite strong. But coming out of winter we unfortunately lost them to wasps. There were just so many wasps around and they were getting into the hive, and coming out of winter with the smaller number of bees, they just weren't strong enough to fight them. But thankfully, just the other week I was able to catch a swarm. Now, I'd never handled bees before, but Ben was at work and this was an opportunity I was not willing to drop. We've got a beast blocker to keep the wasps out, and they're looking really happy and strong, so I'm so excited to see what we get from them this season. Here's just a little bit of footage of getting the bees settled in to their new home. So these are a couple of our frames that are full of honey, and the whole hive is full of honey, so I'm just taking a couple of them out so that we can put some empty frames in for the bees to put their brood in. But I'll go ahead and put these inside.
one of them hit my 40. So, I'm going to angle it this way, and you do that very quickly.
So I have never handled bees before today. I just want to say that right now. Yeah. So we just thought we'd take the beast blocker off so that we can, watch out little guy, so that they can get in a little bit faster. So we're just putting the last frame in this box, and then we'll put the queen excluder on, and then we'll put the top box on. So this side is fine. It's just the front side here. Thanks.
Put it down like that. Hold just the edge of the.
I think you're right, taking that off really helped. Okay. Well, what a cool experience this has been for me. Again, this is like my first time wearing the bee suit and handling the bees. And I think the bee suit makes me a lot braver than I normally would be around them. So that's cool. Yeah, just stoked to have some bees back on the homestead. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe, and maybe go ahead and watch one of these videos here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. What are you doing? I need that box. Are you helping yourself to honey? Yeah, let's put those frames back in. Yep, we need to clean up.